Hey there, I'm Jesse, and you're listening to the Deep Lore Boys podcast, where me, Matthew, and Jackson delve into the random, rare, and often ridiculous pieces of human history.
Why is it called Easter and not Wester?
Yeah, where did the word Easter come from?
It's sometimes referred to as the Holy Shroud.
Wait,
Yes.
like Shroud, like the streamer?
No, like, no.
Can we talk about that giant statue of Jesus in Brazil?
So for those of you who have been paying attention to the calendar or, haven't been under a rock, it's Easter, or it's going to be Easter soon. It might be Good Friday when we upload this. It might be April Fool's Day when you're listening in 2023. I don't know. But Easter's coming up, so we figured we would take a little bit of look at the deep lore of the holiday and see what it's all up. What was that? Was that just a single guitar note?
No, that was the sound of a fidget spinner hitting the desk. We took out our Easter decorations and we found a fidget spinner in the bottom of the bin. We're not really sure how.
Oh, great.
Why is it called Easter and not Wester?
Yeah, where did the word Easter come from?
Well, it's apparently named after a goddess in pre-Christian England that was named Eostre.
Eostre.
It's spelled Eostre. Apparently, the goddess was always worshipped as part of the celebration of spring.
Apparently she wasn't too popular, not as much as, Jesus, because the only reference to this goddess comes from the writings of Venerable Bede, a British monk who lived in the late 7th and early 8th century.
Venerable Bede?
He's got quite the name. It says he wrote down the month in which English Christians were celebrating the resurrection of Jesus, and he wrote down that it had been called Eostermanath in Old English, referring to a goddess named Eoster, or however you pronounce it. That really doesn't sound like I'm pronouncing it right, but in any case.
Whoa, wait a second. The Venerable Bede died. He's not alive anymore.
I figured he did.
Rest in peace.
How did he go out?
He died on May 26th. We're not really sure. He just was sick and then said something important to a kid named Wilbert, and then he died. And Wilbert never told people what he said, but apparently it was really important.
Oh, he was spilling the secrets.
So he told Wilbert some secret stuff.
Obama's last name.
I think it was Obama's last name.
He told him Obama's last name.
Who exactly was this Venerable Bede?
He was
some
very
British monk.
Bede.
He basically he kept records of this goddess.
So this is back in the day of Eostre or Eastri, the goddess.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no.
Yes, he kept track of the goddess. He's the only record holder of this goddess. The only way that the modern world knows of it is because of his writings, and that's why we call Easter, because it's based on that goddess. But we only know about her because of him.
Wait a second, dude. Okay, so she was a Celtic goddess, and this painting of her has her with bunnies. That implies...
What? So is the Easter Bunny the last servant of this goddess no one remembers?
Yeah.
From what I'm finding here, that's actually only one theory as to how the Easter Bunny came around. It almost sounds like the Easter Bunny is this elusive, weird piece of accepted lore. We don't know where it came from. It's kind of creepy, actually. Which I guess the Easter Bunny inherently always was. We knew that.
I think it's kind of like a Terraria boss. It's just sort of something that gets summoned every now and again, and then it shows up. But it's not like one of the main bosses. It's like one of the side ones that just sort of shows up, and you're like, huh.
Shows up.
Yeah. So the Easter Bunny first arrived in America in the 1700s. It was on a ship with a bunch of German immigrants who then settled
the actual physical Easter Bunny
Easter
creature,
Bunny, the manifestation. Basically, the Easter Bunny was like a creature created by this goddess, or somehow was related to this goddess, and then somehow it got in with some German people on a boat and showed up in America.
And has been laying eggs and scaring small children ever since. And that's basically Easter.
For those of you who may not be up to date in the lore, there's 4 different, I guess people call them gospels, but basically they're books about Jesus. Okay, turns out there's more than just the 4. a lot more, but they're all kind of whack in their own special way, and most of them were actually like fan fiction. This one, called The Infancy Gospel of Thomas, I don't know anything about it
Whoa.
except for the fact that Jesus kills people in it.
The Infancy Gospel of Thomas. The text describes the life of the child Jesus from age of 5 to 12, with fanciful and sometimes malevolent supernatural events. One of the episodes involves Jesus making clay birds, which he then proceeds to bring to life.
Someone says, say alpha, and Jesus just says, first tell me what is beta, and I will tell you what is alpha.
What a Sigma move.
That's like a Sigma move, I'm not gonna lie. Sigma male.
Oh, hold on, I found it. I found the murder.
Oh, no. Jesus, what are you doing?
So, a child disperses water that Jesus had collected, it says, and then Jesus kills him. And he also, at age 1, he curses a boy, which causes the child's body to wither into a corpse. He then kills another child via curse when the child apparently accidentally bumps into Jesus, throws a stone at Jesus, or punches Jesus, depending on the translation.
Yeah, he was kind of... Dude, and then when Joseph and Mary's neighbors start complaining, Jesus makes them go blind.
Yeah, it sounds like he doesn't physically attack or blind people, he just curses them.
Yeah, he just straight up decides, nope.
What's that Shakespeare book about the magician that curses everybody?
Oh, The Tempest?
The Tempest. This is more like out of The Tempest, and it's like...
book. But nah, yeah, then they put Jesus in school, and Jesus starts teaching the teacher, and then, the teacher is like, Jesus, he's up to something, he must be a supernatural kid, and Jesus thinks it's funny, and he goes and resurrects somebody who falls off of a roof, and then heals somebody else who cuts off his foot with an axe.
Yeah, this whole book is just him healing, killing, and resurrecting people.
What is this written in?
Jackson, come on, have you ever read the Bible before, dude? This is in the Gospels, man.
I'm just wondering, what? Like he withered into a corpse, like.
Yeah,
Jesus kills the fig tree by cursing it and causing it to wither. So I guess maybe the child was just target practice.
People have been withered by God in canonical scripture before, and it's quite brutal.
This is true.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this, but we could also look into the Shroud of Turin.
The Shroud of Turin?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that, Matthew?
What is that?
Oh, I know this. I know what this is.
Oh, yeah. What?
It's sometimes referred to as the Holy Shroud.
I see. People think this is like the shroud that was laid on Jesus' face when he was buried.
Wait, yes. Like shroud, like the streamer?
No, like
no way.
Yeah, like the cloth that they would lay over your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's also known as the Holy Shroud. It's a length of linen cloth bearing the negative image of a man, like a guy's face, and it does look a lot like Jesus. It's even got like the crown of thorns there and everything. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, I got this wrong. This is not just the face shroud. This is like a full body thing.
Yeah, so I think it was like a blanket. Yeah, radiocarbon dating very, very clearly suggests that the shroud is from the Middle Ages. So probably not. I mean, you can just look from the picture of Jesus on it that is not exactly the most Arabic. And
yeah, I mean, it's got like his hair going down to the sides and everything, and like the crown on his head. It's very clearly I'll admit, I am intrigued.
It's really interesting.
It is an interesting artifact, even if it's not from the right time period. And I don't know if it was made to be fake. I mean, it could have just been somebody's like hobby project, and then they died, and somebody found it in their attic later on, and was like, "Mother of Moses, it must be Jesus."
Yeah, it seems that people don't really know exactly where it came from or how it was made.
I'm more fascinated on if it is fake, which I think it most likely is.
It definitely is.
I'm on a piece of the Wikipedia, not a piece of it, but a separate wiki entirely about just fringe theories concerning it. And this whole article is dedicated to theories about how it could be real. They're trying harder to prove that this linen cloth belonged to Jesus than they are trying to prove Jesus.
Hey, it's
they're putting more effort into this thing than the dude.
Well, this is a very important Catholic artifact.
Okay, so no signs of decomposition have been found on the shroud. So,
well, there's a theory that it was rewoven.
It was rewoven? So, they took it apart and remade it and then just stamped a Jesus print onto it.
Well, maybe. Somebody's theory is that basically they like took it and repaired it one thread at a time, like just gradually. It was like the ship of what is it? Ship
The
of
ship of
Theseus?
Theseus, but the Shroud of Turin.
Right. So I guess in that case, does it even count?
I mean, why
Like-
would they have slowly rewoven it?
Well, when did it first come
Fine.
up in history?
The 1300s. Yeah, so it was first mentioned in 1354, and it was denounced as a fake in 1389. And the Catholic Church neither formally endorses nor rejects it.
Also, I figure if you do prove it's Jesus, I mean, that'd be sweet. Like if it was, you could prove it and be like, wow,
You could
this was
prove it, like,
actually
wow.
Jesus. And then you'd step back, put your hands on your hips or fold your arms and be like, yep, that 70 years of research and that's Jesus.
Yeah.
Sweet. And now, like, what are you going to do? Like extract the oils and make a healing potion out of it or something? Or
I mean, yeah, if it was like enough oils and stuff actually in there, if it had proven to be real bodily fluids, then you could theoretically, you would have Jesus's DNA.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You
That's a
could go all
concept.
Megamind and like
You could
make a hero.
We could make Jesus 2. Could we, wait, Jesus the sequel? That's like Jurassic Park. Like they bring dinosaurs back. Could we clone Jesus?
Oh my gosh. Imagine if we did like a Old Testament park.
We clone all the Bible characters and bring them back?
Yeah, put them in like a
Oh,
zoo or a
gosh.
museum where you can go meet them.
Oh no, that sounds like some really bad movie.
I feel like when it comes to Christian artifacts like the Holy Grail and this Shroud of Turin, we know what Jesus was trying to teach while he was here. And I feel like if he's up there looking down on us right now, like spending years trying to figure out whether or not the Shroud of Turin was really his, or figure out where the Holy Grail is in the Ark of the Covenant, and all these
Where'd
holy
they all
nails.
go?
I feel like he'd be up there just shaking his head like, guys, you're really kind of missing the point here. This is
Guys, it's
not what
okay.
I died for. I died, was buried, and resurrected, fulfilled all these prophecies. I did all this, and you guys are still trying to figure out whether or not that dang blanket belonged to me. You homunculi.
Dude, can you imagine being called a homunculus by Jesus?
That'd be a really bad day.
That would be rough.
That'd be rough. I mean, I know Peter was apparently called Satan.
Yeah, there's a lot of biblical insults that aren't really properly addressed.
A friend of mine once called them holy zingers, and I've never, never been able to forget that.
That just about does it. Can we talk about that giant statue of Jesus in Brazil?
Yeah, what's with that?
Where did
I'm
that
really
come
curious about that. Where, like, was it just
did that
dropped
come
there
from?
by aliens? Because
Like,
it seems impossible that somebody made that. Because it's chiseled out of the rock, isn't it? And it's
Yes.
old. I don't think it's like Statue of Liberty age.
Christ the Redeemer. Yeah, like it's a big frickin' statue constructed between 1922 and 1931. Okay, so it's apparently
Oh,
pretty
okay.
recent.
That makes a lot more sense. I
Like,
thought it was
it's
some ancient creation that's been there for hundreds of years, and I wondered how the heck they made that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Can you imagine like
So that's
people
new. It's newer. than the
people
Statue of Liberty.
arrive, like Europeans arrive in Brazil, and they're like, "Man, I'm gonna go spread the gospel to these the locals here." And they just show up, and there's a giant statue of Jesus in the middle of the jungle. Like, what? Looks like we're a little
Actually,
late
yeah,
here.
now that you point that out, I guess that's a big plot hole I didn't think about, is that, like, Christianity wouldn't have even gotten there until... Yeah, okay, never mind, I'm dumb. There are a couple weird plot holes that I have in just the way that I perceive reality. Like, I genuinely thought... this is embarrassing, actually. I've just had it in my head since I was a kid that there was a state called Pakistan in the U.S., and that Pakistan was a place in the Middle East, but that was another thing. I thought Pakistan was real, and I thought they had a football team. And then somebody asked me, like, somebody challenged me on this, and I was like, wait, you think Pakistan is a state? You think they have a football team? And I
Dude,
thought
yeah,
about
the
it and was
the
like,
Pakistan
oh, darn,
football
I
team.
guess they don't.
Dude,
But I
wanna
was
know how
like,
that
I was like
happened.
16 at the time, so I don't
That's
know
rough,
how
dude.
I went that long thinking that Pakistan was a state.
No, I remember when I discovered Nebraska was real. That changed my life. everybody says, I don't want to go to Brazil, right? They don't want to go to Brazil. I don't want to go to
Right.
Brazil.
Not Brazil.
It turns out Jesus is in Brazil. He stands on top of a mountain and T-poses over everybody. And so
He is,
you
isn't
don't,
he? I didn't even consider
you
that.
better not mess up in Brazil. Okay, that's all I'm saying, because Jesus is right there watching.
It is really quite impressive. It is a big stat. Actually, so there's this one picture of it like overlooking the city, and it looks gigunda rubus until you go to the next picture and it shows it kind of on top of the mountain by itself. It's not
The
mountain
mountain
sized.
is quite tall, but the statue is not the height of the mountain. I mean,
I
it
mean,
is
of course,
no
it's
small
still
feat,
very
but
large. Yeah, no small feat, but
it's not as big as the Statue of Liberty.
Well, the statue part itself is about the same size, but the Statue of Liberty's pedestal is way
Yeah,
bigger.
dude, I always wondered, like, you see Jesus, he's a big boy here, but I kind of want to see what would happen if it like toppled off the top of the mountain. Maybe that's something I really
can you
shouldn't be
imagine the
saying,
uproar that would
but like
cause?
that would be a disaster. That would be awful.
It would be a disaster.
But I just I
Let's
want to
not
build a
put that in the
second one.
podcast.
No.
Let's-
Here's what I'll say: we should build a second one and drop it from a helicopter. And just because the thing is, all the weight is in the
Why?
top. So if he fell off the mountain,
Right.
he would lean forward, and you would just see T-posing Jesus leaning down on you until he inevitably like flips face first into the city.
I mean, that's true. I think there's this
The
strange
concept of
innate
that.
desire. There's this strange innate desire in every man to like see a big structure or a cool thing and be like, what if we smashed it into pieces? Like, what if we
Yeah,
destroyed
what
that
if we
thing?
blew it up?
What if we threw it
Yeah,
off
when
the
I see
mountain, dropped it
something-
out of a helicopter?
Yeah, like this is a big thing on top of a big mountain at a big cliff. Like it'd be cool, but at the same time, like that'd be a big deal. Like that would that be global news?
Definitely.
I feel like if it was a statue of literally anyone else, it would be more socially acceptable.
Dude, why don't we build a giant statue of like Mao Zedong and then blow it up? Because then nobody's gonna be mad about it.
Hi again, it's Jesse. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Deep Lore Boys podcast. You can find more episodes of our show on YouTube and Spotify, which we encourage you to share with your friends so we can grow the podcast. And drop a comment down below if you're feeling extra generous. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope your day is nothing short of interesting. Take care.
I'm gonna go post that one on Twitter.com.